Hey there, Melaminah here. Welcome back to My Bikini Competition Journey. This is episode number 22. It is progress update number 7, and the episode is how bloating is ruining my life. So let's dive in. In today's episode, I'm going to share my most recent bi-weekly update that I had with my coach. My update was actually done just before the Labor Day weekend, and so she actually went away for the weekend, so I won't have my feedback from her for a few more days. But I wanted to share what my how I weighed in and all of my measurements are looking. So here is an image or a graphic of my progress so far. So I started this whole thing in December of 2021, and my previous update was on August 15th. My my current bi-weekly check-in was on September 1st. And as you can see here, between August 15th and September 1st, I lost 1.4 pounds. My body fat went down 0.4%, and I lost a total of 0.23 inches, which is cool. So basically maintaining. Weight tends to fluctuate, I'd say about a pound and a half sometimes sometimes it can be on a daily basis. It just kind of depends on what I've been eating and if I had a cheat meal or not, if I had alcohol or not. I'm allowed 1 cheat meal per week. I'm allowed 1 to 2 alcoholic beverages per week, but those alcoholic beverages are supposed to be like a dry wine or just a spirit, just a liquor itself without any kind of add-ins or whatever. So it all kind of depends. So I feel like my change from August 15th to September 1st was basically maintenance. Nothing super crazy happening there. But if you look from the very beginning of my journey in December up until now in September, I've lost a total of 8.4 pounds, which is super exciting. So we're definitely not in fat loss mode necessarily at the moment. We're still focusing on building muscle and then like super gradual weight loss, just kind of as it comes. So this is not really surprising, just based on the type of plan that I'm on at the moment. So here are my side-by-side photos. We always take a front, a side, and a back. And you can just kind of see, even here in the last couple of weeks, I feel like I've still built a little bit more muscle, which is really exciting. I feel like I can really see it a lot in the thighs, like in the like hamstring and quad area, even though I'm not specifically training my quads. So that's kind of interesting. And then I feel like my upper body is definitely gaining a lot of muscle too. So super, super excited about that. What I'm not super excited about though is bloating, basically ruining everything. It's very discouraging and very frustrating. So let me talk about that a little bit. I know in a previous episode, kind of early on, I had talked a little bit about like some gas and bloating that I was experiencing, and let me tell you, that gas is potent. Luckily that is not as bad, not nearly as bad as it was, but the bloating is still, in my opinion, severe. And I think in my coach's opinion, it's more severe too. So when I had previously brought this up to her, I think that she was thinking it was pretty much mild, because in my progress photos, I always take them very first thing in the morning. So I get up, I use the restroom, before I eat, before I have any water, I take my measurements and I take my progress photos. So there's really no opportunity for the bloating to kind of set in at that point. So she never has seen any of the bloating, really like in all of its glory. Usually I start off the day okay, but then as the day progresses, things get worse and worse and worse. And by the end of the day, it's just totally out of control. So when I brought this up to her a couple of months ago, the first thing that she told me to do was start taking a probiotic, and the one that she recommended is Digestol. And it seemed to be working okay, but it didn't eliminate the problem completely. So I let her know about that, and also pretty early on, she had me eliminate dairy. Dairy just is kind of inherently inflammatory, so just right off the bat, we completely eliminated dairy. And then we kind of were seeing how that was going. I was still experiencing a lot of gas. And so that's when we decided to change up my vegetables. So rather than doing like cruciferous vegetables, which can really contribute to gassiness, things like broccoli, cauliflower to an extent, Brussels sprouts, anything like that, we switched all of that out and moved me over to softer vegetables like asparagus and spinach and those, like that kind of a family. So that has definitely helped with the smelliness. But the bloating, unfortunately, is still there. So in an email on the same day that I did my check-in, I sent her this photo, which I took in the evening, pretty much right before I went to bed. This is what ends up happening to me throughout the day, this crazy bloating. And actually, this photo is actually kind of generous. In real life, it looked even worse than what it looks like in this photo. So I emailed this to her, and her response was, OMG, yeah, we need to get you on a probiotic ASAP. Maybe she forgot that she had me on Digestol. I know she was just getting ready to leave on her trip, so she wasn't in front of her computer, so maybe she forgot. But she also said that this is indicative of intestinal bloating, and that most commonly it's caused by vegetables and legumes fermenting in the intestines, especially if the vegetables are eaten raw. So I never eat raw vegetables. I've known that for a very long time. Like, always cook your veggies at least a little bit, steam them, warm them up in some way, because that's way easier on your digestive system. So if you're having any kind of gas or bloating and you're eating your vegetables raw, number one, straight out the gate, start warming up your vegetables, even if all you're doing is steaming them for a few minutes. And then again, she double checked my vegetable consumption to make sure that I'm eating softer veggies like asparagus and spinach, and I am. So yay. So that's shouldn't be the problem. So there's something else going on here. So one of the other things I noticed a couple weeks ago, just on my own, was that I was eating way too much fiber. I track all of my meals every single day, everything that I eat, and I started, troubleshooting this on my own, and I looked to see how much fiber I was getting, and I was eating an average of like 45 grams of fiber a day, which is kind of astronomical. It's almost twice like what is recommended or what I should be eating. So I shot her an email about that too, and I was like, hey, do you think I'm eating too much fiber? It's 45 grams. I pretty much knew I was, but I just wanted to double check it with her, and she was like, yeah, you need to back off of that, eat between like 20 and 30 grams a day, and really kind of shoot for like the 20 to 25 range. So I've been doing that, and that has helped, again, with like a lot of the gas, because I noticed a lot of gas was coming back. So that definitely helped, and it did help with a little bit of the bloating, but it has not eliminated it completely. So the journey continues. Okay, so after sending her that photo, so she could get a visual of just exactly how bloated I really am, She recommended the following. Number 1, eliminate gluten. Number 2, eliminate a greens supplement that I've been taking. And number 3, originally she said eliminate the protein that I was taking because it's pea based, pea protein based. And she said that in combination with all the nut butters that I was eating might be an issue. But then she kind of backed off of that and was like, hold off on that. She really thinks that it's probably the gluten first and foremost. So let me kind of go back over that in a little bit more detail. So number 1, eliminate gluten. I've never had a gluten sensitivity that I've been aware of prior to this, but gluten is a known inflammatory substance, so it could be that. I was eating Quaker Oats, which is wheat-based. It does have gluten in it. And I was also using like a kind of a generic brand of soy sauce, and that had wheat in it. It's to make it cheaper, they add like wheat and other ingredients in there to keep the cost down. But she recommended switching to a gluten-free oat brand, or just having cream of rice, which is what I ended up purchasing, cream of rice. And then switching to Tamari brand of soy sauce. So I got that too, and that is gluten-free. So number 2 was to eliminate the greens supplement that I've been taking. I honestly don't think that that's the culprit, but it is a supplement that she didn't outright recommend. Like, it's a supplement that I kind of brought in on my own. And so I think she just wanted it eliminated out of an abundance of caution because she's just not that familiar with this particular supplement. And so she wants to eliminate like any unknown kind of things. And then the third one, she didn't necessarily recommend eliminating the nut butters, but I have decided to eliminate nut butters because, one, it's a legume, and, you know, it could be, like she already said, it could be that fermenting in the intestines. And number 2, in 2014, I came back from Peru, a trip to Peru, and like the last day that I was there, I messed up and I had a delicious pitcher of lemonade that was made with fresh water, and I completely like did not think about it, and had this delicious lemonade and got super sick and ended up with a parasite. So I went to a naturopathic doctor at that time to deal with the parasite, and I remember him saying that peanut butter specifically is already rancid even when they sell it. So there's something about like the processing of the peanuts into peanut butter that like makes it go rancid. And so he was like, yeah, no one should ever eat peanut butter because it's already bad. So at the time I was like, yeah, I love peanut butter too much. And I wasn't eating it like all day, every day. So I was like, no, I love peanut butter. I'm going to ignore that. But since I've started this fitness journey as a source of fats, I've been eating a lot of nut butter. I've been having like 2 to 3 tablespoons either of almond butter or peanut butter a day. So I have just decided I'm going to completely eliminate all nut butters and see how that goes. So that elimination process just started a couple days ago. So it has only been a couple days. I have had a couple of cheat meal type things since then. They did fit my macros, but it wasn't like whole foods like I usually eat. And so, I mean, you never really know. I had a sandwich and I did request it on gluten-free bread. But the other couple of things that I have, like, you never really know what kind of ingredients they're using. So I think probably today, as I'm recording this, today is the first day that I'm like really making sure that everything is eliminated. So we'll see how it goes. I need to give it like a week or two and just kind of see how my digestive system does. So the more that I've started researching this, the more information has been really interesting to me. I am definitely still deep in the grieving process of losing both of my parents. So there have been a lot of things that I've just sort of been chalking up to grief. Like I've been pretty irritable lately. I've been short-tempered. I've been a bit angrier. I've been exhausted. I've been doing a lot of my processing in my dreams at night, and so I'm not getting as great a sleep as I usually do. And as I've been researching GI, like digestive issues, I've also come to learn or relearn. I feel like I knew some of this, but I've been relearning that things like fatigue, irritability, sleep disturbances, memory issues, joint pain, changes in bathroom habits, and longer recovery times after physical activity can be contributed to having poor digestion. So I'm starting to think that the major source of a lot of these symptoms that I'm having might be the GI issues, and then the grief is just kind of compounding it. So I'm really anxious to get this resolved because I just feel like crap in my body most of the time. In addition, I'm busting my ass to like look good, feel good, hit this goal that I have for myself. And it's really frustrating. It's very crazy making. It's very discouraging to put in all of this work. I'm in the gym an hour and a half to 2 hours, 5 days a week. And to have this gas and bloating covering up my results, making me uncomfortable in my body, like it when I say it's ruining my life, like it's not really an exaggeration. It's terrible. So anyway, I will leave it at that for now. I will let you know how this elimination process is going. I am going to go to a doctor and see if the doctor can recommend something or whatever. About a year ago, I did one of those microbiome companies where you send in a blood sample and you actually send in a poo sample as well. And they let you know what is going on in your biome, your microbiome. And I found it kind of helpful, kind of not. First of all, their customer service is non-existent. It's terrible. So I'm not even going to tell you the name of the place because I don't recommend it. I will not use them again because their customer service is just crap. No pun intended. But and then the other, I had questions about things that seemed inconsistent. Like one of the foods that I was supposed to avoid was almonds and peanuts, I think. Yet one of my superfoods was allegedly almond milk. How does that work? How are you not supposed to eat almonds because they're not great for you, but almond milk is okay? Like, I don't get it. So I kind of took the results with a little bit of a grain of salt. Although I have thought of, I have eliminated a few things on the list anyways, just to kind of see, but whatever. I'm going to go to another doctor and I'm going to hopefully see if they can help troubleshoot this situation as well. And I will let you know how it goes. So as always, thank you so much for following along with my bikini competition journey. I really appreciate you being here. If you find any of this useful, please share it with others who might find it useful as well. Please give it a like, a thumbs up, whatever it is on YouTube. And don't forget to subscribe. I drop a new video every Friday and you'll get notifications if you are subscribed. Questions, comments, concerns, interpretive dances, please leave them in the comments below and I'll do my best to get back to you answering those questions. I am definitely an amateur to the whole fitness competition portion of it, but if I can answer anything or if it's, useful for a future video, super cool. Thanks in advance. I will see you next week and thanks so much. Take care. Bye-bye.